Now we'll look at the interface for Veritry. Veritry is a new feature for letting you compare two sets of paths, and where there are files that appear to be the same in each of those sets of paths, it will let you test that those are in fact exactly the same. The interface therefore is made up of two parts: a set A set of paths, a list box into which you can add paths, and a set B. Each of them have the same sort of controls as we find elsewhere in Foldatry, so dialog boxes by which you can select paths and then add them into the list. If you try to add conflicting paths into lists, then you will get warnings and they won't add. And there are ways you can turn off those pre-checks and then check them before you go to do the run. Certainly Veritry requires at least one path in each of the two sets. So that's what we'll do here. We'll just add a different folder into the second set. The matching that is done across the two files is quite controllable. The default settings, as you're seeing here, is that we will find files that are the same size, the same name, and the same timestamp. But they could in fact have different contents, even though they're the different size. The most likely situation that you'd be facing for this, and the reason you would go doing this testing, is where maybe one of those files is corrupt, that within the content of the file there is some difference between the version of the file that's in the set A paths and that's in the set B paths, and that's really the purpose of this feature. We by default will test stringently that they are the same. So do stringent congruent is do byte for byte checking of the files that are found to be the same in each path. We have an option for reporting which of those tests succeeded and which failed. Where it has found sets of files that are thought to be the same, there is a control over the order in which those will be done. By default, the setting is to do the largest file pairs or file combinations first. When all the settings in place, we can click Run Process and it will run. In this case, there's almost no files to check. To see the results, we go to the Results tab to find out what has gone on. And actually the key thing we are seeing here is that there are 20 successful comparisons and there are 0 failures for comparison. While it's running, the status indication will tell us a bit more about what it found and what it's checking.